Luka Nation, happy 4th of July. Welcome back to Lucas Tigers Bronze, the best sports card podcast in the world. Please like, share, subscribe. And we have a repeat guest, a special guest. Honestly, someone who I think is like living the American dream. If you haven't, go back and listen to the first episode with Tim from Slab. Real quick, his origin story: started his business during COVID. His wife got injured. I think she broke her ankle. Is that right?
Yeah.
And this guy turned a difficult time, a tragedy, into a triumph. So, like the all-American story. There's no one I'd rather have on today. And he's now joining us because he has a really interesting cause that he kind of put together with his hard work. So with Pristine Auctions, he's auctioning off a card, Pat Tillman, American legend, and all that money's going to charity. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Hear how Tim's doing. He'll be at National. Probably you'll see him around. And then we'll get into the rest of the show, talk sports, all that stuff. There you go. Tim, welcome to the Lucas Tigers and Bronze Show. It's nice to have you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks, guys, for having me. I reached out to you guys because I really want to get as many eyes in this card as possible because the entire sale, so 100% of the sale is going to go to Signature for Soldiers, which they've been associated with the National, I think, the last 7 years, but last year they were sponsored. So his name is also Tim, the guy that runs Signature for Soldiers. And I approached him at the National last year and said, hey, look, for a year now, I had this dream of creating a American flag case, red, white, and blue. And I could never accomplish it because I was trying to mix three colors. And then literally 10 minutes from my parents' house, I was able to find a friend that could make the design for me. Oh, there it is.
That's awesome.
And
that is awesome.
So then I reached out to so many people have helped me, right? So Pristine, it actually was already doing something with Signature for Soldiers. So I approached them, Israel, Ray Schultz is involved, Tony Luciano, Show Your Slab, Stand Up Displays. Everyone's involved. Everyone's donating. Collectors League Jeremy, he made all like the promotional stuff for it. So the point of it is, and the reason why I asked you guys to come on today is to get the most eyes as possible. So at the National this year, it is currently live on Pristine Auctions. It'll end on the 30th at the National. You'll also be able to see it. It'll be displayed at Pristine Auction. You'll also see me wearing a big dumb hat, promoting it, handing out flyers with the QR code so everyone can bid. And the point of this is to raise as much money. 100% of the sale is going to Signature for Soldiers through Pristine. They're literally, I'm telling you, I've been thinking of this total for 2 years, how to do it. I couldn't find the Tillman card. It's very expensive to find. It's a Pop 36. And this great couple called Bayview Cards out in California sold it to me. They knew what it was for, so they gave it to me at a discounted price, in my opinion. They could have charged me more. And yeah, you'll be able to see it at the National. Look out for me, and I just would really appreciate if you can't bid on it, maybe just spread the word about it. That's the most important thing, is to bring the biggest donation to Signature for Soldiers as possible.
Tim, Slab Strong, welcome. Great cause. Pristine Auctions. You know what it is, man? It's that there are more than 36 influencers out there who on the 4th of July wake up and say, what card am I going to show off today that says America? It says America. And let me go find my PSA 10 downtown Pat Tillman. Oh, well, only 36 people get to show that one off. So yeah, it's a pretty expensive card. People, all of us influencers. Well, I got to tell you, it's definitely one of my saved eBay searches. See if one pops up. I might have to go down to a 9. I might have to go down to an 8.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. One, is it the guy's name Tim that are just awesome? Six for Soldiers and you. I gotta give you a compliment. I give you both a compliment. He's not even here. This hobby is crazy, right? There are people out there who can't stand me, and there are people out there who have given death threats to Andrew. More than a few.
Yeah.
It's very hard to walk through this hobby and not have a person say anything bad about you. It's even harder when you're walking around with a humongous hat and throwing slabs at people, and for them to still love you. I mean, it's an interesting role you play, man. How is it that no one hates you? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so there's definitely people that don't like that I throw slabs. I definitely get some of the
No.
old school guys.
I mean, the ones
Yeah,
you
no,
hit with them.
some of them think that so why? But I always tell them, listen, I'm throwing my card. My cards are my PC is very inexpensive.
I mean, Tim, listen, there was at
Yeah.
Minka, I saw an ambulance show up, right? And they were reeling the guy out on like one of the gurneys, they call it, right? Like a wheel. And he had like a slab, like half in his ear. And they're like, oh, what happened? Oh, that guy, he threw a slab. It's stuck in my ear. But what a nice guy. I mean, he's such a nice guy, that guy, Tim. I mean, this guy's got half a slab in his brain. And he's like, oh, that was a cool thing he did, you know?
So
Funny stuff.
I've actually only hit one person with a slab, and it was the dude. I don't know if you guys know him, Khan, Big Three Hockey, or like Liquid Marketplace.
Yep.
Bro, I hit him with a slab, and I was just like, move. Like, I mean, like, what do you? I'm trying to
my stick, man. If I'm throwing slabs, you got to get out of the way.
Yeah, like, what's going on? You see the big
But
hat.
I may be the first person who tells you I don't like you. I'm sorry, but today, a real opportunity missed. You got the beard. You already have hobby ownership on the big hat. Where's the Uncle Sam costume, man? You got the red, white, and blue dip. You got to dip one of those hats. You got to make it a red, white, and blue hat. You got the beard. You should have come on Uncle Tim today and like sang the national anthem for us. No.
You're putting
Ball
me on
dropped.
the spot. I got a little, I'm not going to lie. I got just a little bug here, or else I would have given you the best rendition you ever heard in your life.
Love it. Well, I mean, Tim, listen. Everybody who's been to any card show knows you, right? I made the mistake of thinking you were in Australia because there were videos of you at the Sydney show, the whole deal. I mean, you literally are everywhere. We're real happy to have you on. Can't wait to hear all the cool stuff you're doing. Guys, again, Pristine Auctions. Go check out the Pat Tillman card.
It's the downtown.
The downtown. Really cool card. And
Tim,
Sink for Soldiers.
Are you surprised by all the success? And also, do you want to give a shout out? You'll be in LA. Today's the 4th. In 10 days, the 14th is the All-Star break.
Yeah, the 15th is the first day, but yeah, I'm flying out to LA, and Corey from Show Your Slabs and I will be representing the hobby, however you want to put it, cards, the hobby, because there will be memorabilia involved for Corona. So we're actually at the MLB All-Star game. We got the opportunity.
Corona the beer, just so we're clear.
Yeah, Corona. Yeah, we're not exactly that. Oh, that's funny that we have to say that now. Corona Extra, actually, which isn't a different variant. They're actually bringing us out to LA to the All-Star game, and yeah, we're representing the hobby. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. They're actually, Cage. This might make you not like me a little bit more. In the contract, we asked for 5 giant hats, so they're making us Corona big hats.
I mean, do they get auctioned off afterwards? I mean, is that what happens? What happens to the
If I can sneak one underneath the hoodie that I always wear, I will. I got you.
Oh, that's amazing. Corona's coming into the hobby big time. That's nice. How come they didn't call Andrew? Andrew, you're not drinking.
They're going to be the official sponsor of the MLB next year. They're the official beer of the MLB.
And then, I think some Topps guys will be out there. We're going to do some breaks out there,
That's awesome.
At LA Live and Santa Monica Pier. So Santa Monica Pier will be out on the 15th, and then the rest of the time will be at LA Live.
Listen, in a couple of years when, Major League Baseball embraces it fully and moves away from beer and Easy Wider and Phillies Blunts are the official sponsors of the MLB, Andrew is going to be front and center. I mean, he's going to be there. Center field. I love center field.
Don't listen to me. This is
the grape flavor.
White grape games are the way to go.
White grape games.
We've already talked about this, but no. Last question. We'll let you go. So first off, Pristine Auctions, Pat Tillman, Dunris, downtown, all goes to say the charity again.
The Optic too, the big boy one, the Optic.
Oh, the Optic is nice. Yeah.
Which charity is it going to? Just remind people. And
so Signature for Soldiers works through the 501. So it's going to Signature for Soldiers, and they do a lot of stuff for homeless vets. The 501c3, I want to shout them out too. The 501c3 company that kind of allows them to do that is Military in Action, Military in Action. And if you were at the National last year, you would have seen them. They brought in, they made custom-made sleeping bags. They were right up front. You would have seen Signature for Soldiers. They were near the Breaking Pavilion. They're just great people. And if you're out there, you know what? If you're out there, please also go follow them on Instagram and just kind of repost what they're doing. It's not just me that's doing something for them, right? They have other they have other autographs and stuff for auction. So if the Pat Tillman card isn't something you're interested in, there's other stuff to go bid on. The point of this is to support Signature for Soldiers, and I'm just hopefully bringing as many eyes, as much light to as possible, and hopefully I'm helping out.
Well, you can usually tell how people feel about someone in the hobby, by what happens when something bad goes, when something bad happens to them. Sig for Soldiers, a while back, they had a flood. Remember, they had a flood in their house, and I remember all Twitter, the whole deal, a lot of the stuff they had, and it was just a universal outpouring. Just everyone's like, I think within a month they had more stock, to give away, to sell the whole 9 yards than they had before the flood. It's just like you can see when something bad happens, the people who are doing the right thing, the hobby just rallies around. So yeah, I mean, give them a follow, see what they're doing over there. If you're not following them already, give them a follow. And yeah, there's more than just this one card, but I mean, what a great thing. I mean, it's just a really good thing for the hobby. We get to talk about a lot of the drama in the hobby. It's nice to come on, Andrew, and talk about people who are doing good stuff.
Top 36 collector's item. All money goes to proceeds. So there it is. Just go.
All money goes to Probe's team?
Proceeds.
I was like, Probe's team? How's Rick getting all the money? That's no good.
Go to Pristine Auction, search Pat Tillman downtown. It'll come up. It's in a beautiful Slab Strong, hand-dipped USA flag. Last question, I'll let you go. COVID to 2 years later, how does your family, your girlfriend, your close circle feel about your newfound success? You're working the All-Star game in LA, you're at National, you're well-known, people love you. How's that inner circle of yours? In 2 years, you basically turn your life around.
So my mother is about 75 and still doesn't understand what I'm doing. My dad is still trying to put Slab Strongs around top loaders. I'm getting married this year, October 1st, so that part's going well.
Congrats.
But her family supports it. Her dad's a vet and has my cat.
What does your dog think? What does your cat think?
My cat supports it. That's Choppy. Didn't know it was there. Everyone has been so supportive, and not just look, my family, right? My extended family. Corey from Show Your Slabs, Dan from Stand Up Displays, they're invited to my wedding, right? There's a lot of people in this hobby that have supported me. I've become real good friends with a lot of people. Everyone showed a lot of love, and I'm just going to continue to make sure that I don't let people down from putting their word behind me. But then also, man, just keep making connections. There's a lot of good people in this hobby. We're in a kid's game, you know what I mean? Give back when you can. If you can't, it is what it is, but give back, I just want to be a part of this hobby like you guys all are, right? I just want to be able to do things like this and bring life to things just based off of us collecting cards and selling a protective case for a protective case. It's nuts. Let's have fun with it, right?
Go to sporting events, kind of live the dream that we probably all wanted when we were young. It was probably be a professional athlete, number one. But then by 13, 99% of us are we're not athletic enough. So 2 is how do we work in sports? And it really is the dream. Sometimes we forget about it. So I appreciate you reminding people. Tim, 1 month away. We'll see you at National. We got some cool stuff cooking up. So do you.
Go check it out. Tim's got
Ed Williams is another American hero. If you guys haven't read his book, The Art of Hitting, highly recommend it. I haven't read it, but quite a few of our audience members have talked about the book. And Jackie.
Another Jackie. So I'm actually going to be giving these two. I'm not auctioning these. I'm just going to do a giveaway with these two with a couple people on Instagram just to bring more light to the other auction. So you're going to see a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be giving away American flag cases for free. I might eventually sell them with some proceeds going. But yeah, just follow along. Follow me, follow Signature for Soldiers, follow Pristine Auctions, go bid on it. If you can't bid on it, please share. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to get more light on this.
My pleasure. And slabstrong.com. If you guys have been on the fence since the first episode, you're I kind of want one, slabstrong.com. Check it out. It's one of those things, you buy one, you're this is actually a lot cooler than I realized, and you buy more and more and more. So check it out. See you guys at National. Tim, appreciate you, brother.
Enjoy the 4th, Tim. Safe.
See you guys soon.
May the 4th be with you.
You keep saying that. It's July.
Oh, right. All right. I think that's a great start to an episode. I'll popcorn to you if you have any thoughts, opinions, anything like that. We could be a shorter episode because it's a holiday. We could talk PWCC auctions.
Dude, that guy, he's a great example of the hobby, right? I mean, has an idea and runs with it, believes in himself. Obviously has to take the ball pretty far down the field, but wouldn't have been able to take it the whole way down the field if it wasn't for the hobby itself. Made partners in the hobby, got investors from the hobby. Has a lot of friends in the hobby, then has other hobby businesses partner with him. And now, everybody knows him, everybody loves him, and he's going to the MLB All-Star game for Corona and Tops. I mean, it's a real cool story of the hobby. We all try to distill, hobby news down to, the market was up last year and it's getting killed this year. Everybody run for the hills and sell your stuff. But there's other things going on, right? There are a lot of people, who are, making businesses, and a lot of people are doing well, and the hobby is, providing that. So, I guess the moral of the story there is, if I'm allowed, be a good person, right? Be a good person, because then more people are gonna roll with you, right? More people are gonna, seriously, I started off, almost jokey, but I don't know anybody who doesn't like that dude, which is a good thing. I can't say the same about us.
I think the best business ideas, best that make you money, that are interesting, that are actually some of the most simplest too. Like sometimes we think something has to be so out of the box. A lot of you guys that have been collecting cards for years, maybe something that's right under your eye is a business that you could start where it's, okay, you're collecting cards, all that stuff, but there might be other opportunities. And I think that's what Tim did. He turned a hobby into a livelihood that allows him to travel, meet people, have fun, entertain, banter, all this stuff. So it really is the American dream in a lot of ways, to do what you love every single day and be able to make money off of it.
I agree entirely.
Are you not thinking of what ideas there should be? I think there should be a repost page of the best packages, like best packaged, like people who really know how to package. Repost page. I've been thinking
Fragile.
about that.
Did you get that from Italy? Did you get that from Italy? It says Fragile on it.
They put one of these.
Must be Italian. It must be Italian.
I'm watching
that's
Sopranos, by the way. Never saw The Sopranos before.
Wow. Well, you were young when that came out. You were young when that was a
I'm not going to watch Sopranos at 10 years old. I think it was 99 when it came out, right?
So how far in are you?
3 episodes.
Okay. I'm curious. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to taint anything, right? But I you know what? I'll taint it. I don't care. I don't like you anyway. In the beginning, obviously this is a show that's like, oh my goodness. In the beginning, it is a little slow. It is. And then it picks up. I compare it to kind of like Game of Thrones. Like in the beginning, like the first episode or two, you're like, but then, but the problem, of course, and we've talked about a lot of shows, the same kind of thing. After it is that global phenomenon, after it is this huge thing, a couple seasons in, they know that they're huge. They know no matter really what they put out, it's sort of like Panini. They know they crap in a box. People are still going to buy it for way too much money. They have that. Everybody's already bought in, right? So
season 1.5 to 3 are good.
You'll see. It's just, what? There are shows out there.
A little bit. You kind of give me Tony Soprano
vibe. Well, I'll take that.
I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, there are certain aspects that I'll take. There are certain aspects, no. I'm
the nephew driving the Lexus.
You are Christopher Moltisanti.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you are. Interesting choice. I would probably
die
say
at some point. He has to die.
They all have to die. That is the point of it. Everybody has to die. This is not a life where people survive. Take it from a kid who grew up and about, I don't want to say a third, less than a third, but a good number of kids that I went to public school with did not last from K through 12 because their families were relocated to Arizona or wherever the federal government was putting their families at the time. I know several people who have moved into witness protection. It's just what happens, man. It's just what happens.
All right, well,
I'm being serious.
Pristine Auctions, Pat Tillman, downtown, all to charity for soldiers.
Dude, I'm excited. You're watching
Mafia.
Sopranos. That's going to be good because I haven't watched that probably 20 years. You know, I mean, right? I watched it when it was out, and that was one of those things where you waited. And it was like must-watch TV. The next episode was coming out. It was Saturday night. And, okay, let's go. And, you get the staticky HBO that comes on before the show. And you're like, oh, here we go. It's another episode. It wasn't.
I like the theme song, too, for Sopranos. The intro. Themes.
They're driving through New Jersey. Woke up this morning.
Yep.
Got myself. Forget that one.
Yep.
And they did now. Netflix is like, all right, let me put the whole show out. I was at a barbecue this weekend, and somebody was saying, "Oh, Hulu, they've really gotten edgy." And I'm like, "How are they edgy?" Like, well, they don't put the whole show out at once. They make you wait a week for each episode. And I'm like, "Okay, that's television. Like that's the way. That's the way. It's not edgy. That's the way that it was." What are you talking about? It's funny. But yeah, man, that'll be good.
I think there's something about waiting. Psychologists have done studies on what makes someone successful versus unsuccessful, and universally you could look into this a bit more if you'd like, but being able to delay your gratification is actually a huge variable in success. So
the expert you're talking about is the book is Kama Sutra.
No, it's called the marshmallow test. Actually, it's the kids that they put marshmallows in front of kids and they say, okay, you could have one marshmallow now or, 10 marshmallows at 10 p.m. tonight. And the kids that take one marshmallow now who can't control their impulses, they go on to live less successful lives than the kids that understand the process. Okay, I could have 10 later, so I'm going to delay my impulse.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. We have different ideas of delaying gratification. You are thinking about marshmallows. Congratulations. Well done. It's interesting. So back to the hobby.
Stop looking at your live audience and Shooter McGavin in a
delayed gratification. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. How long do we have the national? 3 weeks and a day, something like that. I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's close. It's
the issue is you're not going to be able to get there. So, guys, Cage is looking for a ride. He only owns one. His wife will not have that car. So he's going to be this guy on the highway. He's little booty shorts like this. Little booty shorts, and he's going to be
Burlando. I'm looking for a ride. I'm like the Minions.
Alex Jaimo is going to drive by. She's like, nope, that's not for me. Nope. Keep going. Pass on to the next. Bagels and wax. He's coming. He's like, should I pick him up? I don't trust them, but I'll throw a bagel at him.
I'll take it. It's gonna be hungry. I'm gonna be hungry on the side of the road. After a bagel gets thrown at me, I'm eating it. 100%. Yeah, man. I have not figured that out yet, but I will be there. That's not difficult. I will definitely be there. Not a problem. What are you most looking forward to? And don't give me cigar night. That's a cop out. Cigar night will be awesome. Everything's going to pale in comparison. We've set ourselves up for failure because we're doing cigar night the first night. And then 4 days after that, we're going to be like, I mean, this is cool and all, but cigar night rocked.
I mean, we work hard, man. So we've built something to where people want to invite us places. They want us to kind of use their booth for example, I had a conversation with Sarah Layton. We're going to do an interview from their booth for Women of the Hobby. Dope. Pumped. We're going to do something with Whatnot where we do kind of like a live auction. Or we do an auction and we might turn it into a live auction. That's cool. But I really think that we missed the forest for the trees. And this is what I mean. We talk about the junk slab era, right? So all you guys out there listening have subcards to PSA, DGS, SGC, and you have some slabs laying around that you may sell for like $7.33. Or here's what you could do. And this is what I think is the coolest thing is there's a ton of kids. There's a ton of people who are a friend of a friend that might have just got dragged there for a day. It's not just the hobby. This is like people who are ancillary to the hobby that might want to get in. It's so easy to make somebody's day there. That I think is actually the coolest part. from your Mookie Betts draft picks cards to a Ja Morant Pulsar to a Zion Hoops to a Luka My House. These are like $10, $12 cards. But you can bring those and you could meet kids and their parents and say, hey, you know, who do you collect? Who's your favorite player? There's gonna be kids wearing jerseys. And you're like, oh, that's Luka. I have a Luka. And for pennies, just a few dollars, you're able to make someone's day. I think that's actually the coolest part of National that people don't realize. Have a bottle of water, have a phone charger. That's the most important. But then after that, take the opportunity to make people's day. And
But why?
Go to a consumer electronics convention. You're not going to hand someone a DVD player as a gift.
I mean, a bargain one with Sony guts. As long as you had Sony guts.
You're not going to remember the portable DVD players?
Yeah, of course. I had so many of them.
Here you have all these slabs. You deem them worthless. We'll use it to make someone's day. Use it to make a kid happy. There's hundreds, thousand people that are going to be there. Not all of them are Instagram hobbyists who listen to podcasts. That's what I would do. That's what I think is cool.
So what's not being said there is, you know, you're not doing it because, oh wow, this is what my responsibility to do it because you enjoy doing it. You're doing it because, you know, that's what you like to do. And it's what should be done. And it's what needs to be done, believe it or not, to grow the hobby, you know, especially in a national this year, as opposed to national last year, where everything was just booming. And it was like, you know, just crazy. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to buy something at national and sell it that night when I get home. It's going to be worth more money. You know what I mean? Like that was the atmosphere of the national last. This is not that. And, you know, one of the crazy things about national last year was because of the, you know, the way that the hobby was, a lot of kids. A lot of flippers, a lot of people, you know, buying and selling and you know, trade nights and, you know, I'm curious to see what it's like this year, but you're not talking about those, you know, 18-year-olds bankrolled by mommy, you know, with a Zion case full of, you know, Prism silvers. You're talking about like kids there with their parents, talking about kids there, you know, who are getting into the hobby. You're talking about people who are going to potentially be, you know, hobby contributors for life. And yeah, giving somebody a Luka jersey.
Their dad might be the collector, but the kid is actually just getting into the hobby.
Or they're with their mom, or whatever the story is, you know, like, oh, I mean, you're right. I think that those are the, you know, the small things that people who are there or on business, people who are there like us, people who are there, you know, at tables, and people do a good job of this, generally speaking. You know, people do a good job of this. People have tables, they have, you know, they have stuff, they have giveaways, they have things they give to the kids and stuff. When we talk about like bringing new people into the hobby, this is what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, somebody leaves and says, "Oh wow, I got this. You know, I got this Luka card for free. You know, somebody saw I had a jersey on it. Boom, I got this one there." You know, that's something that they remember. It's a story they tell, you know, at school to the other kids. You know, the kids are saying, "Hey, I got to go to a card show. People are giving out cards, and you know, like he just got this Luka card." It's, you know, it's the kind of stuff that's contagious.
Have you ever seen the Friends? Did you watch Friends? Or was that not?
I've seen a couple episodes.
There was one episode of like, is everything?
I want to punch that Ross guy in the face every time I watch it. I want to punch him in the face.
Is our actions, are they inherently selfish, or can you be non-selfish? Like, is doing a selfless good deed possible? I'll leave it there and I'll tell you my opinion. But can you do a selfless good deed? Meaning, it's completely selfless good deed.
I think you can. That goes back to kind of like and people had a different reaction to this. Remember my Steinbrenner quote where he says, you know, if you do a good deed and more than 2 people know about it, you did it for the wrong reason. That is talking about being selfless, right? If you do a good deed and then you're immediately running to social media to tell people, "Hey, look what I did," then were you really doing it for the good deed itself, or were you doing it for were you doing it for publicity, notoriety? Were you doing it for the pats on the back kind of stuff, you know?
So the McDonald's, we're all in the business of selling happiness. People don't realize that. It's not food or cards. Everyone just wants to be happier, right? The Happy Meal. Think about what even McDonald's did. They packaged up the food and they called it the Happy Meal. Have a Coke and a smile. So
and shut the F up.
The best marketers and best businesses actually understand they're selling happiness. So I think we're all trying to be happier. And we think if we have more money, if we have a bigger house, a nicer car, we'll be happier. Well, the best way to be happy is actually to be giving and helpful. So I think that you are doing these good deeds, you feel good. At the end of the day, you're gonna put your head on the pillow and you're gonna be like, "That was a fun day." You're gonna feel good by giving. It's almost a little bit sometimes counterintuitive for people, but once I realized that formula, I know that anytime I'm feeling down, anytime I'm feeling helpless, be helpful.
I mean, I have nothing bad to say about that at all. I agree with every single word of it.
So,
Good
Cage,
for
you love
you.
gold. You love gold, huh?
So let's talk about PWCC because, I mean, just the byline on this one is Andrew won 49 cards last night. I won 2 and managed to spend 8 times as much as him.
How much do you think my total was?
For 49 cards? I'm going to say your total was $1,600.
With buyers, $2K.
$2K.
$20. My break even is a plastic slab.
I was about right. Yeah, I was about right then.
And I'll tell you, I got some sick stuff. I'm really happy with my performance yesterday because I got some cool stuff, man. It's lower pop, high grade stuff you don't see. It's not a ton of base. I got a few base. Like I got a Donovan Mitchell Select PSA 10.
You know what I like? I mean, here, of course, you say Donovan Mitchell, but it was a PSA 10. You showed me pictures, and it was like Griffey, Ichiro, Jordan. And I'm like, all right, I don't know if he always got it, but this auction, he gets it. Because why are you buying? You're not buying these cards to build out your PC. You're buying these cards in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. You're building up inventory for whatnot, for selling, for giveaways, for you name it. And you've now done enough shows, you've done enough whatnot to say, I know what people are asking for. You put it out there in the chat and you say, hey, what do you want? Oh, I want Ichiro, or I want Trout, or I want Jordan. Michael Jordan stuff always sells. You know what I mean? So it's smart. It's not, oh, wow, Brandon Clark. This is so cheap. He's so good. Right. All right. Well,
the best advice, Cage, I got was you make your money on the entry. And when you do the shows on whatnot, when you watch these weekly auctions, you're able to spot iconically cool cards that are just not getting noticed in that one auction, right? It's fascinating we talk about comps because I'll give you one example. So there's this card called I'll pull it up. It's like the Jordan Bulls Dynasty card. The top's chrome from 1996, 1997. Let me see. I just want to get you guys the exact name.
Is it the team card? Yeah, that's cool.
By doing the work, so I bought this card in a BGS 9.5 with a 9 centering for about $112. I showed it to our whatnot community. They're like, auction it off. It sold for literally right around that amount of whatnot. This one came up, SGC 10, same card a few weeks later. I'm watching it, $60. No one's bidding. $60. No one's bidding. $60. I put one bid in. It closes at $76. So I got an SGC 10, which is a better condition than the BGS 9.5 with the 9 subgrade for 65% of the comps. So now I'm like, I sold that one. I kind of want to hold this one forever. I know how hard it is to get an SGC 10, but I've made it on the entry because I know what people, there were 3-4 people willing to pay $120 to $130 for that card. And by doing that, like the being in the weeds, as we call it, the entry was the win. Now I could do so much with that card, but for whatever reason, that card could have sold in September. Could have been $150. It's a gorgeous.
We can do so much in here. Now that we made the bunk beds, we can do so much in here. We can do like exercises.
It's an SGC 1 of 1. There's only 12 or maybe 10 BGS 9.5s of that card. That's not a high pop card from 1996, 97 with Jordan and the iconic Bulls. So that's what I mean.
Card.
And what's the true price? Is it the $70 that it ended at today? Is it the $125 that people are willing to pay? This is why comps and value, it's so interchangeable, especially during the dog days of summer. You make money on the entry was hands down the best advice I've ever gotten. It just took a little bit more time for me to click on what that truly means.
Meanwhile, I just don't like being made fun of. So yesterday, and this whole week, Andrew's been making fun of my collection about how it's got nothing serial numbered, nothing gold, and how my collection is all dull and whatnot. So I just and how I'm a big man, and I love the big man, but I don't own any real cards of like centers in my collection. So I picked up the 2012, the first year Prism Gold Tim Duncan. That was what I added to my PC last night. Not exactly a cheap card.
I'm digging into Duncan's a little bit more now. I'm wondering if he's as good as we remember him, or because he never talks, we kind of revere him like the same way we do Kawhi. I'll get back to
It's just weird. It's weird because he was like a very unassuming champ, and he did everything right, but never did one of these. Never did like a chalk toss. Never did one of these. Never was flashy. Never did one of those. Never had the mouthpiece sticking out like a doofus. Never did anything. Like
I think he stayed with one team. I think that was the big.
That's
thing.
part of it too. I mean, but staying with one team. It's also that team. The way they won, his nickname, the big fundamentals. What does anyone care about fundamentals? They don't care when a quarterback throws the ball perfectly with a perfect spiral. They care when Patrick Mahomes no-look passes, right? They don't care about it being done the right way. They care about flash. They care about a no-look alley-oop pass. The guy won a lot. He won a lot of championships, but no flash. Nothing to talk about.
Too. Like, I don't want to – David Robinson is no slouch. And all the jokes aside, I'm very proud of you. And I think so, Kate, you're 40 pounds you're down?
Yep.
How do you feel?
Smaller.
Lighter? Do you have to get new clothes?
No. See, that's the thing about fat people. Our wardrobe comes in like various degrees of what we look like. Like I even have a full-on wardrobe for like 40 pounds from now, all set, ready to rock.
But
back in April, I was stretching it. I didn't have one for 10 pounds more than that. Like I kind of had to.
What if you threw out your current wardrobe and you only kept the stuff that you need for 40 pounds lower?
It's an interesting thought process that you have there. If I threw out like what was working in April, and like I don't know what would happen there. It would be very interesting. I'd have to go to work naked.
The thing is, I think of losing weight or getting healthy. I don't like lose. I don't like the negative version of that. I like the getting healthy. It is a challenge in the beginning, and it's the same way, in my opinion, with getting out of debt. You have to do it with slow, small, little micro goals, right? Like, how did you start? What was your first week? What was your goal? How did you measure success?
No ice cream.
So you cut
something small. Yeah, and then it's next week is like and you build layer more stuff onto there, like start going for walks and layer and take out like ice cream and candy. Then it becomes like don't have any bread, any like refined sugars and that kind of stuff. And then go at least 3 days that week where you're doing 10,000 steps, and then you layer in another step of it where it's like okay, now make sure it's a vegetable, make sure it's this many, make sure you're drinking this much water, make sure now it's 5 days a week you're doing 10 steps. And now I'm up to, literally like almost no carbs with some cheats here and there. It's 4th of July. I'm sure I'll have something. But like 10,000 steps a day, no matter what, like you find them,
You realize you have the time. And my point is to the people out there from our community that are listening that might have not had the financial success in the hobby the last year, maybe listen to the message, sub out weight, and enter in your collection, your portfolio, whatever you want. And instead of feeling overwhelmed by this big picture of where you need to be, chunk it out into small little micro steps of what can I do today that's just one right decision. Right? One right decision today, and start building that momentum. So before you lose 40 pounds, you lose 1, and then 2, and then 3. And soon enough, you get momentum, you get confidence, you're inspired to do more because you're seeing the results. And that begins to compound itself, no different than Kate just described with the weight loss. So I think there's a little bit of a metaphor of people getting healthy, losing weight, to also financial freedom and building a collection, building a portfolio, learning financial, like money management and all that stuff. So And I'm proud of you, man. That's you set a goal, you had a goal, and I mean, job's not finished. I guess I will
Job's
say.
not finished. Not even close. Still, I want to do 50 by national. I am by no means skinny.
The annoying thing
You
is
know,
does it get harder?
Yes, 100% from here on it gets harder. That's the thing. This is the small part of the accomplishment. When you my father used to say, when he was 350 pounds, he's like, I can lose 10 pounds. That's nothing to get excited about. People, I lost 10 pounds, they can give me a celebration. He's like, I can lose 10 pounds by cutting my toenails. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of gross, but you get the point that they're trying to make. When you are 100 pounds overweight, losing 40, it's not even half the battle there. And yeah, it gets tougher as you get going. So
Well, it's 10%. 10-15%.
You're doing, what's 10-15%?
Well, you're 290, you lose 40 pounds, like 10-15% weight loss.
Yes. It's like 15%. So I got more, and the percent becomes, as you weigh less, the percent becomes a different measurement. But yeah, man, I mean, it's now just become part of the routine.
Anyone
I'll
out
eat
there that's going
McDonald's.
through this, send Cage a DM if they have any recommendations.
Oh, we have it. We got fit fams. We got some crazy members of our audience, man. People who are nutritionists. We got people who are like personal trainers. We got all kinds of craziness. The next step that everybody tells me I have to do, and I'm just resistant to it because I'm lazy, is put a little weights into the mix. People want me to
I
work
don't
out.
actually agree with that theory. I know what they're saying. I don't agree with it though. I do not. I think it's important to have muscle on your body, but I don't think weights are as important as people make them out to be. Because you could do it through yoga, you could do it through stretching, you could do it through push-ups, you could do it through body weight.
And then a couple people told me, I walked at the CVS yesterday, on the recommendation. People have recommendations. Tell me what to get. I went into the pharmacy counter and I said, can I get a trend? Can I get a cycle? Winstrol? You have that here? And they looked at me like I was crazy. So I guess maybe I got to go to like Walgreens. Maybe they don't sell it at CVS. Cycles.
TRT and HGH are actually, I think the way weed was taboo? And
yeah.
I think the same way we're going to look at that stuff because whether you like it or not, men's testosterone levels after 35 dip. It's just a fact.
Not mine.
And
not mine. Mine's going up.
It's harder to put on muscle. It's harder to build muscle. It's harder to do all that stuff. So getting that checked out doesn't make you any less of a man. I think it just makes you realize how science and biology truly work. So do whatever. I mean, if you can't compete with it, but none of us are going to compete. So if that's the route you want to take, you shouldn't think that that's stigmatized. You should be using all the resources available and going to a doctor and having that conversation.
Listen, no stigma involved. I agree with you entirely. The research.
I actually think that's healthier than the pre-workouts and the over-the-counter supplements that people take because dude, you don't know what's in that shit.
Yeah, because it's not regulated.
No, dude. Did I tell you when I was on 75 hard, I flew back from Mexico. I had to do 2 workouts. I'll remember this. And my sister, I landed. My sister and my mom picked me up, and my sister was crying, and her friend passed away. 22 years old.
What? Oh my God! From what?
Caffeine and pre-workout. His heart exploded. Had a heart attack because he took too much pre-workout. And it's a serious problem, man. These people take a ton of this pre-workout fucking shit.
What is pre-workout? It's like a drink?
Like amino acids that help you stimulate the rebuilding proteins, that help you stimulate rebuilding of your muscles. It has a lot of caffeine. It has a lot of sugar. So it gives you energy. So you can lift more.
Wow. All right. Yeah. I mean, you learned something new.
Issue, in my opinion. Huge issue. Sorry.
Well, the episode took a turn. What? Let's see. 4th of July. I went a little light this year. We got some sparklers. We got some, little things that kind of do our, make a little noise. We got a lot of snaps and pops and crackles for the kids and stuff like that. Bought a box of Rice Krispies. You got to put it in milk to make the noise. Fireworks. Be safe out there, guys. Enjoy. I will watch the Nathan's hot dog eating competition because that's That's real competitive sports for me. Baseball, nah. Football, nah. Joey Chestnut eating 75 hot dogs. There you go. That's what I like to see. Anything else?
Is it a big crime day? Like when fireworks going off, if I was planning a hit, I would wait till all the fireworks were going off.
Dude, you know what I love? Right? I love that the episodes are always going to take some flavor for what you are watching at the time. You finish watching Narcos and you want to put a hit on half the hobby and we can't put the episode out. Okay. You're watching Sopranos and we're now talking about if you were going to put a hit on somebody, what would happen here? There's a lot of hits being done by you. Maybe
if any of you guys have Netflix, I'll watch like Selling Sunshine or something like that. Tampa Bay selling houses.
You gotta watch. You gotta throw something fun into the equation.
SpongeBob.
You know, throw something fun. Meanwhile, I think I'm about to start the 5th season of Peaky Blinders. So
I can't understand a word they say.
watch it in subtitles. And you know what's really funny? The subtitles are wrong. So even the people writing the subtitles don't even know what they're saying.
I hate that. I hate watching a show like that where I'm like, I need to get like a really good sound bar or something like this because my TV does not give me the quality. This needs to go to my AirPods to get the full understanding.
Listen, you gotta love it, guys. Enjoy the 4th. Go check out Pristine Auctions and show your slabs, Slab Strongs. They're partners. They're always together. So of course I confuse the two of them. Slab Strong. Go check out the auction with the Pat Tillman optic downtown on there. It's a really cool card and really good cause. Take us home, my friend. What else you got?
Realistically, guys, if you want Friday, it will probably be my last delivery to SGC. This is the 8th. In order to get it back before National, okay? More than likely, I'm going to be driving to National, so that buys us a little bit of time. But if you have raw cards that you want graded by SGC, you have until Friday to get them to me. I'm going to drop them off for Friday. That's the 8th of July. That will give us 10 business days till the 22nd for them to most likely be graded. I will pick them up 22nd or 25th, and then Nationals on the 27th. So if you have raw cards that want to be graded, chances are this is the last week, so kind of think a little bit ahead.
All right, guys.
See ya.
So thank you all for listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo My. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is, 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com. or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luka Nation.